It seemed a good idea at the time, inviting Donald Trump for the first ever second state visit for an elected leader back in February in the Oval Office. Then came the Epstein scandal. The King and Prime Minister are going to be hosting a president tainted by association with an infamous paedophile. There have been controversial state visits in the past. Romania's dictator Ceausescu, Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe, and even Vladimir Putin. But this one has scandal as its backdrop, among a range of other issues that Trump is currently dealing with. The Jeffrey Epstein controversy has been put on steroids because Britain's ambassador in Washington, Lord Mandelson, had to resign over it. The furore over Epstein was already in full swing after allegations that Donald Trump sent this lewd card to him on his 50th birthday. There are also widening divisions between the US and UK on a number of other issues, most of all Ukraine. Trump is siding more and more with Moscow over how to end the war. And Gaza, Trump's acquiescence with what many in the Labour Party believe to be genocide, is another reason he is for them not welcome. When the invitation was made, the idea was to flatter and seduce Donald Trump's ego. He'll be looking forward to a lot of pomp and circumstance. 3 days at the centre of attention, something he famously craves. The charm offensive has to some extent already worked, getting Britain better trading terms with Trump's America than Europe. But the UK still faces higher tariffs than it did before. And tensions between the countries are festering. On the eve of the visit, the US has been complaining about the deal American drug companies are getting in Britain. Number 10 Downing Street, though, is hoping this visit could reset Keir Starmer's fortunes. More than $1 billion worth of American money is being invested in British finance firms, they say, ahead of the visit. But there is considerable jeopardy. President Trump's previous visits to London have brought out thousands of protesters. One former British ambassador in Washington says the government and the palace will have gone out of their way to keep him away from controversy.
This is very largely Windsor, Winfield House, helicopter rides. It is a lot of ceremony, a lot of protocol, a lot of things that will give the president great pleasure, state banquet at Windsor Castle and so on, but without exposing him to those risks. So I think all that will have been taken into very careful account by the people planning the visit.
One thing we can be sure of, the government will be deploying the full armoury of royal pomp and prestige that it has at its disposal, hoping that that will drown out any controversy and protest to make this contentious state visit a success.